Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live. Today, we're on location in my kitchen. So if you've been here in the past when we've done Cooking with the Kitchen Witch, we have my kitchen. So yeah, we're baking today. Exciting. So as everybody filters on in, I will go through the shows coming up. So the next show in 2 weeks' time, I think it's 2 weeks' time. The 9th. So I think it's just over 2 weeks. 2 weeks exactly. There is a couple of dates that are going to be not 2 weeks, just because of the way holidays are falling. But next one is another episode in our Coloring the Tarot series. So we're going to be talking about the magician. So if you guys want to come and hang out and chat, we'll be doing that. And then the date after that, which is the 30th of March, is we're going to talk about archangels with Tanis from Twillo. So I'm excited about that chat. So bring all of your archangel questions, curiosities, anything you've ever wanted to ask. And we'll have a little bit of chat about that. And then later in the month, so into April, we have my birthday special. So on the 27th will be my birthday. And I'm turning 38. So we're going to be doing 38 readings, whether that's readings for others or readings for myself. I have a couple of friends popping on to hang out with us. And then I'm actually really excited, but in May, we're doing a galactic round table. So I have a couple of people coming on. And we're all going to just talk about galactics. You guys know I love talking about the galactics and ETs and all that. So yeah, bunch of stuff coming up. So if you haven't liked and subscribed to my channel already, please do so you don't miss out. With that, we are going to get baking. So first things first, before I forget to do anything else, I'm going to go put an apron on because I always forget. And then I end up with stuff all over me. So I'm going to go grab a apron. And it's actually one of my favorites. My mom got it for me for Christmas. Those of you who know me and know my day job will absolutely love this apron. So I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a Highland cow, which is one of the breeds I register here in Canada. So yeah, got my Highland cow apron on. There we go, all set. So the recipe we're making today is, I guess, a cheater pretzel. So it's probably closer to a breadstick, but we call it a pretzel. It's actually a recipe from when I was in high school. So grade 7, grade 8, they still had a home ec at my school. And this was one of the recipes from then, and I had saved it. So I now actually have it. Again, this is another Christmas gift a friend got me a couple of years ago. But it says Kaylee's Recipes. And so I've actually taken the time, and I have some favorite recipes that I've actually written out and transcribed into here so I can find them quickly. So yeah, it's kind of fun. All right, so I'm going to preheat my oven first. So 425 it says. There we go. Get that going. All right, so I was trying to decide whether I was going to use my KitchenAid mixer, but I think I might just go old school today and just do bowl and a whisk and use some elbow grease. And I get a couple of bowls going here because I'm going to need more than one bowl. All right. So mix together sugar, salt, and flour. So I got my sugar, so just white sugar, salt. Gonna open it over the sink though, because this container likes to shed salt everywhere. Hi Diane, how are you? And then I need flour as well. I should have enough, but we have backup flour if I need more flour. All right, and then I need to measure this stuff out. So I need all of my measuring cups and spoons. Just bring them all over here because I'm going to need them eventually. That should be okay. Whiskey whisk. Dan, so Kathy MJ is my mom. So you can say hi. Hi, Keely's mom. She's actually the one that taught me how to bake. So you have her to thank for me being a kitchen witch and loving to bake and cook and create. I give her all the credit. Ooh, making coffee. Yes. And actually what's really nice is like, it's this, as I said, this is more almost like a breadstick recipe than a pretzel recipe. But you could very easily, I feel. So the recipe initially called to put like coarse salt on the top of it, like you would with a pretzel. But I'm positive you could probably put like cinnamon and sugar on it if you wanted to make it more like desserty. It mentioned like everything seasoning as well. Actually, today I was thinking, leading up to the show today, that I might do a little bit of salt and a little bit of like herbs de Provence, so like a kind of herb blend, just to make them a little bit more savory. Is she policing me? I might ask her for advice. That might happen today. Just because I'm using quick rise yeast, so I have to make sure I get my temperature right. So I might ask her advice on that, but we'll see. All right, so I need sugar, salt, and my flour. So let's do flour first. So 3.5 cups. Do you want to just use a half cup? So that's 7 cups, right? Doing math, 3.5 cups, and I have a half cup measuring cup. That's 7 cups. Well, 7.5 cups. And the big thing with baking is we want to be as accurate as possible. So when you're filling up your measuring cup, I always like to use a butter knife and flatten off the top of the measuring cup so that it's nice and flat. Because baking is chemistry, so we want to try and be as accurate as possible. So there's 1, there's 2. Everybody counting with me? 2. 3. 4. 5. Oops, making a mess now. 5, 6, and 7. I am going to have enough. And making more of a mess. But we're not baking if we're not making a mess. All right. Yes, yeah. She's the apron, please, because I always forget. And then I end up, as I say, getting it all over myself and then complaining that I got it all over myself when I had an apron. And I had other aprons, but I mean, this is a cute apron, isn't it? You get a little like cow apron going on. Gotta represent my cows. All right. So we got our flour, and now we're gonna do our sugar and our salt. Let's see here. Sugar. I need a 1/2 teaspoon for my salt. That's a tablespoon. I need a teaspoon. It's also a tablespoon. That's a full teaspoon. I need a 1/2 teaspoon, please. That's a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, we're gonna do 2/4 then, because I'm not taking forever to hunt for this. All right, so we're gonna do our salt. There's 1, 2. Gonna keep the salt out though, because we are gonna make a little like sprinkle topping to go on the top of the bread. Sticks, pretzels, things. Right, and then I have my sugar, my white sugar. And we're doing a tablespoon of sugar here. There we go. All right. Right, mix together sugar, salt, and flour. And what's important with baking too is to mix all your dry ingredients together and then your wet ingredients and then put them together afterwards. You don't want to do it all at once. Well, that would be good, wouldn't it? You're not baking if you're not making a mess. It's true. It's kind of like everything in life. You're not having fun if you're not making a mess. It's the way I do art too. So, all right. So in a large bowl, put warm water and sprinkle in the yeast, stirring until well blended and yeast is dissolved. All right. So we're going to use our other thing because we're going to eventually put this into here. So that's fine. And I need to read the directions on the yeast packet. So I need 1 1/3 cups of warm water. Is this measuring cup big enough or do we need the other one? No. Oh, this one does go up to a 1 1/3. All right. And this makes 12 pieces of breadstick or pretzel. So this is you could half a recipe if it's just you and you don't want 12 breadsticks, but we're going to make a full 12 today. All right. So must be heated to 120 to 130 Fahrenheit. All right. So if my mummy is watching, would she recommend me boil water or just take it from the sink? And use every measuring cup and spoon you have. Yeah, pretty much. What do you think? Do I boil or do I just take it from the sink? Do you think the sink would get hot enough? That's the other question. And I thought I had a thermometer, but I probably can just use this thermometer. I know it's, in theory, a meat thermometer, but it should still measure. Well, let's see. Let's see how hot I can get my tap to go, and we'll go from there. I think it's currently reading the temperature of my house, but yeah, I think this is technically like a meat thermometer or whatever, but I feel like it should do everything. So the packet says 120 to 130. So yes, 125 would be in the middle of that. I think it get a little bit hot. All right, so we're going to see how hot this is. So it's at 105. So I am going to probably have to boil a little bit of water and kind of half and half this. Or at least probably boil hot water and then top it off with cold to get it to the proper temperature. So we're going to boil some water. I do have a kettle here, so we're okay with that. And I can actually probably set it to be the 50-ish that I need. We can also just let it cool down a little bit. And that's the oven up to temperature, so that's good. So I'm not sure if this reads in it's in Celsius. Perfect. Okay, so I need 55 Celsius. So if we do set this to go to 60, we should be in the ballpark. So we'll have to wait for that to do its thing, but that's okay. There's my cups. In the meantime, I'm going to get an egg out of the fridge because I do need an egg. So I'm going to get that. You can see my messy fridge. There's an egg. And just to make life easy for myself, I'm going to just break it into a cup. That way I can get shells out. Here we go. And look, no shells. Ooh. All right. So I got my egg, I cracked it into a cup. So if you are like nervous about getting shells into your baking or whatever, you can always put it in a little cup first. Make sure that you don't have any shells in there. And then I need a tablespoon of water, but not yet. Oh, it's okay. So while we're waiting for this to come up to a boil, I'm going to get 2 cookie sheets ready and put parchment paper on them so that our breads don't stick. So I'm going to use these, which are a bit of a family heirloom. I'm pretty sure I inherited these from my mother. So these are my like go-to cookie sheets. Oh, I have some other exciting news. So in March, I'm actually going to be doing readings with Gerald at some point on a, I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head right now, but it'll be in March on a Sunday. So we're going to do some readings together. It'll be fun. And that was the kettle doing its thing. I'm going to leave it for 2 seconds because it's probably going to be a little bit too hot. One thing parchment paper has taught me is I cannot cut in a straight line to save my life. But that's okay. Yeah, that did not go well either. Parchment paper, I tell you. Bane of my existence. That's okay. I'm going to do it this way or that way? Don't think it really matters. All right. And yes, I talk to myself all the time when I bake. Who doesn't talk to themselves when they bake? Oh, see, and so there you go. My mom says she has cookie sheets that were my nanny's, so it's like a lineage thing at this point. Gerald is fun to read with. I had messaged him, I'm like, we haven't read in a really long time. Can we do a reading together? I don't know what or when, but can we do one? So he humored me, which I appreciate. All right. I am making a mess with my water, which also is an inherited trait. If you know, my mom will vouch for this. I cannot wash dishes or anything like that without getting water absolutely everywhere. I need to pour more out. So the important thing with liquids when you're measuring them is you want to measure from the bottom. You want to be at kind of the level of where the line is, and then you want to measure the bottom of what they call the meniscus. So like, I don't know how well it'll show up on camera, but you want to measure from the bottom of that water line. And also don't measure chocolate chips in a liquid measuring cup because you'll end up with way more chocolate chips than the recipe calls for. I made chocolate chip cookies at one point and I used a liquid measuring cup to measure the chocolate chips. Yeah, not the same thing. So that's not a bad mistake to learn from, right? Too many chocolate chips? All right. So let's see what our water looks like here. Okay, we're a little bit too hot at the moment because we were wanting to aim for what? 130, yeah. Like right now it's at 137. So I'm actually going to dump some of this out and actually just top it up with cold water. We're going to be playing a little bit of a game of, can we get the temperature to come out properly? Let's try that. I'm going to use my butter knife from the flour just to mix it up a little bit. See how we do. And this is the part where like baking is definitely a science, because with the yeast, if the water's too hot, it'll kill it and then we won't get our yeast to rise. I'd say I'm happy with that. So right now it's reading 126 and our goal was between 120 and 130. So yeah, I'm happy with that as our temperature, honestly. All right. And I'm going to turn this off so the battery doesn't die on me. All right, there we go. So in a large bowl, put warm water and sprinkle in the yeast, stirring with until well blended and yeast is dissolved. Okay. So water is in. Now we're going to put the yeast in. Shaky, 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 shaky. Oh, it smells so good already. All right. And I'm going to mix this around till it dissolves. It smells so good with the yeast. All right. And we're always going to add dry to wet. So eventually we are going to, once this is fully dissolved in, going to slowly add in our flour. That's pretty well dissolved. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually probably just going to use my half cup measuring cup and add a little bit at a time. So you don't want to add it all at once, because that would just make a mess. So what have you guys all been up to in the last little bit? I've been busy doing classes. I've been working on a couple. And they're going really well, actually. I have one coming up this weekend, which I'm super excited about. And of course, with the flour, I'm making an absolute mess. But again, we're not baking if we're not getting messy. Yeah, Myra, sure, I can show you my apron. It's a Highland cow. Isn't it cute? And we're making pretzels or breadsticks. Pseudo pretzels. It's a recipe from when I was did home ec in high school. So that would have been, what, 2001, 2002, something like that. Now what I might do at this point is just use my hands because it's getting sticky. You can see it's all glommy and sticky on the whisk. And I'm not worried about getting my hands dirty, honestly. Go. And the flour is going to help take this dough off of the whisk as well. There we go. There we go. Gonna have to soak that. Okay. I'm just gonna put some water in so I can soak this whisk. There we go. All right. Mix in the last of this flour. So yeah, gradually stir in the dry ingredients until a soft dough forms. So yeah, I'm literally just using my hand as kind of a spoon. Probably use a wooden spoon or something like that if you wanted, but I'm just getting in with my hands. Doing a tiny bit of a kneading motion just to kind of fold in the flour. But it's smelling so good though, guys. Oh my gosh. And I used quick rise yeast, so that way you don't have to let the dough rise before you bake it. So there's different types of yeast. So there's like regular yeast that you can use, but then the bread has to sit and rise a couple of times before you can then bake it. Versus with quick rise yeast, it will kind of do that on its own. I'm sure my mom could explain it better than I just did, but that's basically the difference. There's a little bit of flour left over on the bottom of this, but I'm not too concerned. The dough feels good. It's not sticky anymore. So I'll hold it up here in a second. But we have our dough ball. Look, we got dough. Look what we did. All right. So we're going to portion this out. Actually, I'm going to, just because there's a lot of flour left over at the bottom of this, I'm just going to, I just added a tiny bit of water, just because I would prefer to have all of this flour incorporated. Go, that's better. Oh, that's much better. And you can see my hands are all dirty. Ooh. All right, so before I roll this out, so the next thing the recipe says to do is to cut it in half and then cut each half into 6. So we're going to kind of portion it out. So I'm just going to put some flour down. There, you're getting some sound healing at the same time. Hitting the metal bowl. So yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of flour down on the countertop just so that the dough doesn't stick to the countertop. So as soon as I can get some of this dough off my fingers. So you don't need a ton. You just need enough to kind of cover your surface. And I'll try and lean you down here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. I guess you can kind of see it. You get to see the cow. So I'm going to throw this out on our surface here. All right. Isn't it? Look, it looks like bread. If you need any last minute sound bowls, you know where to find them now. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I'm doing my sound healing training in the summer, and apparently one of the I've had friends that have taken it, and apparently one of the homework assignments is you have to do a sound bath or whatever, but using stuff from your kitchen. So I think that's going to be fun. All right, so I've made this into like a little bit of a ball. And now we're going to portion it. So it says cut it in half and then cut it in each half into 6. So I'm going to get a knife here. Big knife. All right, so I'm going to cut this in half. Or as equally as in half as I can get. And then we're going to cut each half into 6. Right. So how do we want to do this? I feel like I'm going to probably make these into a ball and then cut them that way. Make them into little wedges, right? Yeah, those are about equal. All right, so I'll do halves again and then thirds. That's probably the easiest way to do this. And then we're going to do thirds. So kind of making little triangles like this. So I want to try and get them as even as possible, just because that way they'll just cook more evenly too. They're little triangles. All right, and then all right. You can add different amounts of water to drinking glasses and get a wide range. Oh, that's true. I didn't even think of that. Smart idea. All right. So, or that would have been the other idea, Mom. Yeah, make it a log. All right. So now that we cut into it says roll each piece into a log and place on prepared cookie sheet. So yeah, we're gonna basically make these now into noodles. So I could probably just leave them as like a pretzel stick if you wanted, or you can try and make them into pretzel shape. I may just leave these in little breadstick logs, but we'll see. See how artistic I can get with these. Let's see. I need space here to make my pretzel shape. Kind of letting gravity do some of the work here too. Can I make a pretzel shape? I can make a knot. I can make like a pretzel knot. Here, I made like a little knot. A little pretzel knot. But nah, I'm not happy with it. I'm just going to keep them in logs. I'm just going to log them. I'll make breadsticks. I'm making breadstick pretzels. So I don't want to overwork this dough too much either. All right. So I think we're going to probably do 6 on each cookie sheet, just so they have the space to rise and work themselves out. And I'll bring them back over there too once I finish rolling them out. Trying to make them, as I said, as even as possible, just because they'll cook up better that way. So that piece was a bit bigger than the other one. You know, if you guys have played with Play-Doh, it's more or less what I'm doing. Can I make a pretzel shape with that? Ah, not bad. Get it a little bit longer and it might actually work. Haha, look at that. I did it. I made a little pretzel. Look. I made a pretzel.
I'm going to put it on the other cookie sheet. All right. We'll see how that one turns out when it comes out of the oven. All right. And the egg, what we're going to do with the egg is actually make like an egg wash, and that's what will allow them to get nice and brown on the top. But I get a little bit more flour here just because some of these are a little bit sticky. And more, I just want the flour for my hands. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, tonight. I know these shows are a little bit different than some of the other shows. And if we do have time at the end, I can go over and grab some of my Oracle cards and give you guys a reading. I actually got a new deck for my purse, a new Oracle deck. That's an Animal Oracle. Which is kind of fun. They have little tiny cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's definitely going to be enough room there. That's good. Yeah, I had a free tarot. Like I had a little pocket tarot that I had gotten that Jamie had gifted to me when she gifted me the other tarot and oracle decks. But I struggle still a little bit to read tarot. So I thought, get yourself an oracle deck, make it easy on yourself. You're more likely to use it if you're out, and about. So I did. Trying a different technique here. Right. You can definitely tell the yeast is activated because they're very stretchy. Ah, we got another one. I was able to do another one there with this one. And another pretzel. We're going to have one thing of pretzels and one thing of breadsticks. So. Again, just getting a little bit more flour just because I'm finding as I'm rolling it out, it's a little bit sticky. That one didn't roll out. That one didn't roll out as nicely. Let's try that again. There we go. That's better. All right. There we go. Got our breadsticks. I'm going to try and make a couple more pretzels. So we got a couple pieces here left. 3 pieces left, and then I can show you what I've done over on my baking sheets. And then I actually need to figure out what I'm going to do for a topping, because the recipe does call for like coarse salt, which I don't have. But I thought I would maybe mix just regular table salt with some herbs, and thought that they would probably be nice along the top. So what I'm doing here is another method you could do to make your little tubes is to just roll and kind of move your hand along, stretching it out as you go. I feel like this might be a chubby pretzel, but we'll see. It's a little bit chubby. See if I can get this to stretch out a little bit. There we go. Ooh, sesame seeds. I don't think I have any, actually. That's part of the problem, too, is I need to know, use what I have in my cupboard, but I'll double check. I might. I know I did have some everything seasoning at one point. All right, you're going to go over here. You're going to go up here. You're going to go there. All right, last piece of dough. Last piece of dough. Thanks everybody for tuning in. All right. Last one. Wacha. Nope. It's like, no, I don't want to be a pretzel shape. I don't want to do it. Aha, there we go. Got it to do it that time. See how I can do this without it falling, but pretzel shape. All right. So these are going to go in the oven here in a second. So I did call for a tablespoon of water to go in with the egg, which we're going to use for our egg wash. And I'm just going to grab a fork. Get like ASMR. All right. Gonna wash my hands for 2 seconds. And so with the egg wash, I'm actually going to use, I think they call it a pastry brush. I have a silicone one that I use, if I can find it. There it is. Hiding. So yeah, so this is a pastry brush. This one's a silicone one. You can get them where they're actually like fibers. But this is what I'm going to use to brush the egg onto our pretzels. So these are our sticks, our pretzel sticks. So we'll do those first. And then I'm going to, as I say, mix up a little bit of something with my cupboard here. So yeah, let's see. Do I have sesame seeds? I don't think I do. Yeah, that's adobo. That's okay. So instead, my one thought was to do herbes de Provence, which is like a herb blend. So if I mix this with a little bit of the salt, I feel like it'll probably taste pretty good. Do I have garlic powder? That would be the other thing to do, because like who doesn't like garlic, right? Let's see. That's onion powder. Do I have garlic powder? Also just finding stuff in my spice cabinet. Got some mustard. Is that garlic powder? Aha! Garlic powder! All right. Actually, I might just do the garlic powder and the herbes de Provence because there is already salt in this, and this is, don't want them over salty. All right. Mix that around. So yeah, I just put salt, garlic powder, and the herbes de Provence in here so you can kind of see what it looks like. Yeah, these are fun. So I think a lot of the pretzels you'll get, like the big ones you get at the malls and stuff like that, a lot of them, they soak them and stuff as well, I think in lye or something like that. So these are definitely more of like a breadstick, but we're calling them pretzels. Yeah, I hope everyone here's like garlic. Hopefully there's no vampires around. All right. So I'm going to egg wash these first. So give you guys the tabletop view here. So just brushing the top with the egg wash. As I said, this is what will make them nice and brown and pretty when they come out of the oven. And we just want enough to cover them. We don't want them to be like soaking in it. Just enough to help the topping to stick. So I'm gonna get my fingers in here and just lightly sprinkle over the top. And upside, I get to bring some of these with me for lunch tomorrow at work. If my mom's still here, maybe I'll bring them, my parents, some too, because I'm seeing them tomorrow night. All right, so that's our, I don't know how well you can see them there, but they're all yummy and herby. So they're going to go into the oven, but I'm going to wait into these our pretzels now. So you see our little pretzel shapes? Aren't they cute? All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to egg wash them and then put the little yummy topping on them. And you're always going to end up with like a leftover egg wash. Don't worry about it. It's part of your baking. All right, so we're going to get our topping again here. And we're just going to sprinkle. Again, probably going to end up with leftovers of this, but that's okay. With baking, it's kind of and cooking, it's kind of like, okay, do I end up with too much or not enough? There we go. All right. So there are pretzels, all herbied and delicious. All right. So flip over to the other side here. Okay, bake 10 to 15 minutes until brown. So with baking, if it has a time, you always want to put it in for the lowest time first. Check, and then if it needs longer, but you can't undo it once it's burnt. So always put it in for less, and then put it in, add time if you need it. So I'm going to put these in for 10 minutes. Though what I'll likely do is do 5 and then rotate them, just because I have 2 cookie sheets in my oven at the same time, so they're like sitting side by side, and so the front and the back are going to cook at different temperatures, so we want to rotate them. So I'm going to set the timer for 5, and then we'll rotate them at the 5-minute mark. There we go. I'm going to dump this stuff because we don't need it. Also going to scrub my hands because they are covered in dough right now. There we go, that's better. There we go. Yeah, add time if you need it, but but why would you make it into an omelet? It has water in it. I guess that doesn't really matter, but yeah, I guess you could add it to an omelet. With leftover egg, you'd always add it to something else. Yeah, see there. This is why we have the expert baker on with us. So my mom says the second time add 7 minutes, because when you open the oven door, the temperature drops. So you need to allow time for the oven to come back up to temperature while it's baking. That is very true. I feel like I'm going to be finding dough in my fingers for like the next 3 days. All right, I'm going to put this stuff away while we're waiting. Because this is the not fun part of baking, is the cleanup. Put these away since I didn't use them. Oh, they're already smelling good, guys. I can smell them from here. Oh my gosh. Wish you had smell-o-vision. Smells so good. All right. Get my oven out so I don't burn myself. Ugh. I guess I make up songs and talk to myself when I'm baking, because why not? Oh, it's fluffier omelet. True. Let me see if I can find my Oracle deck I can show you. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is the new deck I got myself. I think actually when my mom was on vacation, she spotted a bigger version of this, but this is a little pocket version. So if you guys want, since we are coming up on the hour, but these are still going to need time to bake. If you're interested and want a quick little Oracle reading, if you want to put me in the comments, I'm happy to pull you a card or two. It'll just be like a general kind of what you need to know now kind of reading, but if you want one, happy to do a quick little read with my cards. Okay, perfect. Give me a second. I'm going to start you guys just in case. Oh, is it your favorite Oracle deck, Moira? Awesome. Love it. Yeah, I'll wait till the buzzer, because the buzzer's about to go off, so I'll wait for it to go off and put them back in, and then I'll start doing readings for you guys. 38 seconds. Kind of look like whales. I don't know. I think I showed you guys this sign already, but a friend's mom made it for me. It says, "Kitchen witch." She's like, "Oh, why don't you use it as a cutting board?" I'm like, "It's too pretty to use. I can't touch it." You too? You too, Mom? Alrighty. There we go. Timer. Oh, they smell so good already. Ooh, and they're getting all puffy. All right. Flip. And of course, you're going to shift. Well, they're already hard enough. I can shift them with my fingers, so that's a good thing. And other side. Here we go. Stick them back in. I don't think they're going to need the full 15, so yeah, we'll put them in for the 7. I think they're going to be done. I'll get my cooling rack. One perk of being tall is I can use every cupboard in my kitchen. So when my friends come over, they all get frustrated because all the stuff's like up high and they can never reach anything. That's going. All right. Let's do Diane first. All right. See how well I can shuffle these? As I said, it's a new deck. What does Diane need to know today? That one. Which one do you want, guys? All of them, apparently. Does she get a second card, or are we just doing the one card today? Okay, that one. We'll take the top one of that. Ah, there, 3. We'll do that. I'll take that as a read. All right. So first card we got is the number 1, which is Ant Spirit. So time to collaborate. Well, you are already doing that, Diane. You've been doing so many shows and so many new shows. I haven't had the chance to watch the one you did with Annie Bear yet. You've been doing so many new shows, so I think you are definitely exemplifying the Ant Spirit. And then you got number 48, which is Porcupine Spirit, time for beginner's mind. So I think this is kind of saying, like, go back to basics. So if you're struggling or getting frustrated with something, just go back to the basics. You know, as if you were just starting out again as you're a beginner, take those little steps. Yeah, your guides want half the deck. And then the other one I got is 49, which is Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. And with the Chinese New Year just starting, I feel like all that luck that came with that is rubbing off on you because you get a Rabbit Spirit. Yeah, I think those are excellent messages for you, Diane. Collaborate, get back to basics, and luck. What better reading is that? All right, Moira, we'll do you next. I'm just going to double check what we're doing for time here. We still got 4 minutes. Can I do a reading for Moira in 4 minutes? You are lucky, Diane. All right, Moira, what does Moira need to know today? That one wanted to be at the very top, so we will do that one. All right. This is going to be funny if this card comes out for like everybody tonight. All right, so first one I got is Butterfly Spirit. Transformation is beautiful. So I think there's some change coming, but some beautiful change. Actually, this card reminds me a little bit of your picture there, where it has all the yellow and stuff in it.
But butterfly spirit. Oh, and it's number 11. So, you know, angel numbers and such. So maybe look out for, you know, 11, 11, 11 as your symbol of what transformation's coming forward for you. Oh, and there's also a crown there. So that queen energy, tap into that. And then I got 55. So another angel number, 55. So snake spirit, which is time to heal. So time to focus on yourself for a little bit. With that transformation coming, I think it's going to also just bring that healing in for you. And then the last one I got, which is what made me laugh, is I got 49, the rabbit spirit, which is now is a lucky time. So everybody's getting some luck right now, which is great. So tap into that luck, tap into those angel numbers, and use them to your advantage. And then I'm going to do my mom's reading here. I'm just going to, again, check on the time. All right, we got 2 minutes. So I'm going to see what if I can shuffle this in 2 minutes. I might do the reading after I pull the breadsticks because I don't want them to burn, but what does Catherine need to do? Okay, that one apparently. How many cards was that? Just the one, I think. Yeah, that was just one. I need to know right now. That one. I was like, yeah, everybody go out and buy a lottery ticket. Okay. Not half the deck, guys. I'm going to take the top card of that. I don't know if you saw that, but like literally, like with Diane, half the deck flew across the table, across the island. All right. You guys are not going to believe this. Guess what card just popped out in that reading? And it was the first card, and it literally like flew out of the deck. Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious. I love you. I love the universe sometimes. I really do. Yes. Yeah. Rabbit spirit. Now is a lucky time. So mom, go buy a lottery ticket. Maybe with the number 49. If you're allowed to choose numbers, choose number 49. Is in there somewhere. Or 4 and 9. And then the other cards I got is Armadillo Spirit, which is 3. Set healthy boundaries. Don't think I need to say more than that. You and I have been talking today, but set healthy boundaries. Be an armadillo. And then I got 21. I'm going to finish this. I'll be okay for 2 seconds. So 21, which is Dove Spirit. Be peace. And that has, I think, more than one meaning for you. But yeah, the Dove Spirit, be peace, be in peace. So yeah, healthy boundaries, peace, but everybody's lucky tonight. Yep, let's all buy a lottery ticket. So yeah, your numbers, mom, were 49, 21, and 3. So yeah, buy a lottery ticket with those numbers. And Diane, go back and watch mine and see what numbers came up in your reading. And again, get a lottery ticket. I mean, entertainment purposes only, but get a lottery ticket with those numbers because apparently everybody's getting lucky. And then report back. All right, so let's see how these breadsticks are doing. Other issue with baking with glasses on, I can't see when I open the oven. Ooh, do we want to keep going for a little bit? How are we doing? I mean, the bottoms are brown. What do we think? What do we think? I'm going to put them in for just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit longer. Just because I want them a little bit more brown on the top. Not much longer, but just a little bit longer. They're still, like, they're nice and brown on the bottom, but their tops aren't 100% brown yet, so I just want them a little bit more done. But yeah, isn't this such a cute little gift my friend gave me? She's actually, her mom's the one that made the cutting board, but it says Kaylee's recipes on it.
So, and I've been using it, and it's great. It has like inserts. So it has like little recipe inserts, so you can put like how many servings, write the ingredients and the instructions. It's been very useful. So, actually, I went years without using it, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And so yeah. Now I use it fairly often, actually. Gonna have to wipe down my counter because I got flour all over it. All right. Got a minute and 54 seconds. Thanks for hanging out with me so long. I know it's a little longer than our normal hour show, but that's okay. So yeah, if you weren't here at the beginning, upcoming shows. The next show is another one in our Color the Tarot series. So we're doing the Magician, so card number 2. And then the one after that, we're actually going to have Tanis on, and we're going to talk about archangels. So that'll be fun. So bring your archangel questions. Whether it's like, do they eat food? I don't know. Thinking of silly questions, but if you have some questions about like what are archangels, what's the difference between like an archangel and a regular angel, we'll talk about that. And then I also have a couple other friends coming on that do a bunch of different really cool stuff. One of them that's coming on in May is a hypnotist. And she uses it as far as like helping people. So as part of therapy. I have a galactic roundtable is what I'm calling it, with a couple of my favorite people. So there's going to be somebody might be in the chat tonight that'll be on that show with me. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that one. We also have my birthday show coming up on the 27th of April, and JJ from Tbsp is going to be hanging out with me that night. So that'll be fun. So you guys can come and actually celebrate with me, because it actually ends up that the show ends up being on my actual birthday. So, buy a piece of cake or a cupcake and come and hang out and celebrate my birthday with me on that day, because that'll be fun. And it'll be actually the 3rd year anniversary of the channel. Hard to believe. It's crazy. Who thought I would be doing this? 3 years on now. All right. Can't see again. Do that every time. Oh yeah, those are much better. Yeah, I just needed those extra little 3 minutes. All right. Don't worry, I'll bring them over and show you what they look like. Gonna let them just sit on the cookie sheets for 2 minutes to cool. But they look so good, guys. They look so delicious. Oh my God. And I'll have to do the money shot, as my mom calls it. Do the money shot. Oh, I'll have to show you a new bag I got too. It's cute. It's one of these like tote bags, but I thought it looked like a tarot card. Isn't this cute? So it says The Reader, but I thought it looked like a tarot card. I got it at Indigo, which is kind of like our Barnes & Nobles. But yeah. I saw it and I was like, yeah, I gotta get that, because I gotta use it to transport all of my cards, all of my decks when I go to people's houses. I think it's still available at Indigo now too. So if you're in Canada and watching this, you can go out and get your own. All right. How are we doing for time? Ooh, 40 seconds. I'm going to just bring the cooling racks over here. That way you guys can see them. All right. Oh no, you lost connection on the way by buy a lottery ticket, but I will report back. Yes. Sounds good, Diane. Best of luck. All right. So we got our cooling racks here and a Highland cow. Kind of looks like he's like peeking over the counter being like, is there food to eat? Is there something yummy? All right. So these are our breadsticks. Perfectly done. Anyway, parchment paper. All right. And then we have our pretzels. And actually, some of them turned out pretty good. Like, look at that. It's a pretzel. All right. I'll worry about you later. All right. Now, the question is, do we want the money shot, i.e. me opening it? Do we want it with the breadstick or do we want it with the pretzel shape? So you have your choice. Breadstick, pretzel shape, which one do you want me to show you? You get to choose. Which one do you want to see the delicious inside of? Oh, and they smell so good right now. Like inhaling the fumes. Stick? More vote stick. Does anybody else have a vote? It could also be a wand. Expecto Patronum. Stick? All right. Got 2 stick votes. So we got our lovely browning on the bottom there, our lovely browning on the top, thanks to our egg wash. Right, ready? Still a little bit hot, but look at that. Do you see the steam coming off of that? Looks so good. We did it, guys. I guess I have to taste test it too, right, to make sure it's not poison. A little bit hot. Edible, though. The other thing you could probably do is bake these and then put really like garlic butter on the top of them. Probably be pretty good too. But yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys. Well, how's the seasoning? See, the piece I just ate didn't have all that much on it, but let me see here. That piece was better. It needs butter. Yeah, it does need butter. Cheese, yeah. Parmesan cheese or Swiss cheese or something on the top. Especially if I did it right now, they're hot enough that you would probably melt some of the cheese. Dip them in queso. Well, Mom, put in your order now and I'll bring some tomorrow. Message me later. But thanks, guys, for hanging out with me tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. And I'll be back on in 2 weeks. And until then, I will see you all in the chats. And I hope you guys all have a great night. Have a great week. And we'll see you on the next live. Have a great night, guys. Bye.